It's hard to imagine life without our smartphones. Everything about our lives is contained in the palm of our hand. Personal details, banking passwords, medical information is all there. So you'd expect your smartphone to be secure. But as we'll reveal tonight, it's anything but. Your sensitive private data is open for anyone to see. You can be bugged, tracked and hacked from anywhere in the world. It's long been the dirty little secret of international espionage. But now organised crime, commercial spies and potentially terrorists can exploit a security hole in the global mobile phone network. How it's done has never been shown before, until now.
So we found him. He's moving from Pimlico to Westminster.
What we're about to show you may seem like something out of the fictional world of James Bond 007.
It will be probably close to the Big Ben.
But this is real-world espionage, with very real consequences.
So here's our call.
Hello, Ross Coulthard.
Ross, how are you?
Hello, Senator.
Mm-hmm.
For you and me, for our political and business leaders, and for the security agencies charged with protecting us. This story has been the preserve of Hollywood only because those who know about it have been too afraid to speak out about it until now. Tonight we reveal just how easy it is to covertly bug and track your mobile phone from anywhere in the world and to steal all your data. The same technology's long been used by spy services here and overseas, but it's now in the hands of commercial spies, even organised crime. What it means is that your smartphone is an open book. How secure is a mobile phone?
Well, you're basically carrying your life in your pocket. All the personal data that you have in yourself that you carry day to day for your banking, for messaging, for family, everything is with you. The problem is that the mobile phone networks don't have any protection in order to ensure that they can't be attacked.
Les Goldsmith is an Australian counter-surveillance expert based in Las Vegas. Tonight he's speaking about this issue for the first time, blowing the lid on the great untold security breach of our time.
Realistically, we are carrying around the weapon of our own destruction and espionage. We're carrying around the listening device.
So anybody who's got a mobile phone can be tracked?
That's correct.
And they can also be listened to?
They can. Their calls can be forwarded and recorded.
Anyone, anywhere, anytime. You see, the integrity of mobile phone carriers is secured by extremely sophisticated encryption technology. But in the German capital, Berlin, a group of hackers is proving otherwise. I'm on my way to meet the hackers who tell me they've been able to intercept my mobile phone calls and SMS messages. They're a secretive bunch, but they really want me and you to understand just how huge the holes are in mobile phone security and how deeply they can delve into your and my lives. In the bowels of a Berlin building is Italian computer whiz Luca Milletta, a genius in the subterranean world of hacking.
Making sure that the forwarding is set. Yes, so we have the right HLR number, and this should work.
Luca's never appeared on television before, but tonight he's breaking cover to reveal the risks.
So for example, if you're using some home banking and you're receiving your PIN code for your transaction,
You can steal it.
I can steal it, yeah. And use it before you do.
To prove his point, Luca says he'll hack my phone call. And for the other willing guinea pig in this experiment, I've contacted Senator Nick Xenophon.
And we have to prettify it.
Ross Coulthart, Nick Xenophon.
Hello, Senator. I'm talking here in Germany to a bunch of very clever German hackers
who tell me that they've discovered a huge hole in mobile phone communications.
Yeah. Me too.
What if I could tell you, Senator, that it's possible to listen in to any mobile phone from anywhere in the world? Would you believe me?
I find it very hard to believe, short of having a law enforcement agency with a wiretap, I don't know how that would be possible.
So, Senator, before I go any further, do you consent to your phone conversation with me being recorded if they can actually pull it off?
I mean, this seems like science fiction. I don't believe they can pull it off, but if you reckon they can pull it off, I give my consent. But I find this incredibly hard to believe.
Might be correct.
And what they're also telling us is that they can intercept SMS text messages. So why don't you send me an SMS and we'll see whether they can intercept it on the way.
All right, stay there.
But that should be easy. Is it still going?
I'm sending you a text. Just sending it to you now.
Here it is. Hi Ross, I don't believe you. Nick.
We should point out that Luca is one of the good guys. His hacking team is helping the German government fix the security holes in its mobile phone networks. And the Germans have been badly burnt. A year ago, it was revealed that the United States had been hacking the personal mobile phone of German Chancellor Angela Merkel. Her office is just over there. And just here, the US Embassy. Its top floor so hot from covert listening devices, it lights up like a candle on thermal imaging cameras. You can still intercept any mobile.
Yes.
So this is every single mobile in the world.
Yeah.
The biggest security hole in all of this is known as SS7. It's an electronic signalling system that allows phone companies to connect calls to each other around the world, as well as texts and data like emails. A system that covers 7 billion mobile phones across 800 telcos, all of which rely on SS7. Spy agencies have long used SS7 to bug, but now the widely available technology allows hackers to get detailed information about you and your phone. There's a system, a backdoor system called SS7. Have you ever heard of this?
Yes, I have.
It's an issue most governments and the telecommunications industry are ignoring. The telco industry is represented in Australia by John Stanton of the Communications Alliance. As I understand it, there is a huge security hole in SS7. What do you say to that?
I'm not aware as to how accurate a statement that is.
Are you aware, for example, that it is possible for anyone with SS7 access to listen in to any mobile phone conversation from anywhere in the world?
No, I'm not. It's not an issue I've been briefed on.
But who is well briefed is organised crime, commercial spies and fraudsters. And a hacker doesn't even need to know your mobile phone number or have access to SS7. All they need is one of these. This is an MC catcher.
Yeah, it's a homemade one.
IMSI or MC catchers are illegal outside law enforcement. But for as little as a few $100s, anyone can easily buy one. It's a radio antenna that pretends to be an official mobile phone tower. This rogue cell tower, if you like, hacks into your phone to scoop up your data. Have you seen any evidence of illegal rogue cell towers, MC catchers, being used in Australia?
In Australia, yes, we have. We've seen them in far north Queensland, we've seen them in Sydney, we've seen them in Perth, Melbourne. Many of the places that we've gone to, we've seen the activity occurring.
They can hear every call.
Any call they want.
They can intercept and read any of the data.
Any messages going backs and forwards between the two.
Les Goldsmith has developed the technology to prove that it's happening right here in Australia. This cryptophone has a built-in detection system that warns me when a rogue cell tower is trying to hack into this phone by turning off its 3G or 4G encryption. So if I drive around the city here and there's an MC catcher, I should get an alert on this phone. I don't really have a problem if police or intelligence services are using these MC catchers to get bad guys. The problem is when these devices are being used illegally, and no one is monitoring that. In the past few months, I've carried the cryptophone around the country with me, and I've had multiple warnings, as these screenshots show, of rogue cell towers trying to hack into the phone. Including here, right outside the Australian Stock Exchange in Sydney. Three times across suburban Sydney, we got warnings. Oh, got one. Just happened. We've just picked up another MC catcher. Let's pull over quickly. I don't want to lose it. So how could criminals use an MC catcher?
An MC catcher in criminal hands is going to mean that they have the ability, say, to target an apartment building where they can listen to the phone calls and hope to pick up, record all the calls and hope to pick up somebody calling their bank and giving their passwords.
To determine where MC catchers or rogue cell towers are, Les is working with another computer whiz back in Berlin, Bjorn Rupp. Is this a real-time live
This is real time. Actually, we see here data from the base stations that's coming in live.
So these are all the cell towers that we're looking at?
Yes, that's precisely right.
Bjorn's company has helped develop a system called Overwatch. It pinpoints rogue cell towers from amongst all the real ones. If somebody does bob up with a rogue cell tower, you can almost triangulate and figure out exactly where they are.
Of course, exactly. I mean, that's the purpose of the system. Identify rogue base stations, locate them, and then, of course, do something against them.
So this is putting the spies out of business.
Well, that's the purpose. Huh?
So when Angela Merkel was bugged, do you think she was bugged using MC catchers?
It's a pretty likely option.
It's clear that the spies and the criminals and fraudsters are winning in the game of hacking and tracking anywhere in the world.
So we found him. He's moving from Pimlico to Westminster. Can try to get an updated location now.
Even in London, my every move is being tracked by Luca Maletta in Berlin.
It will be probably close to the Big Ben.
And I'm not the only one they're able to watch. In the course of our investigation, it's become clear just how easy it is to bug, track and follow anyone's mobile phone. In fact, we've discovered that even the Prime Minister, Tony Abbott's mobile phone, isn't out of reach. But of course, we'd never do that because without his consent, that'd be illegal. But Senator Nick Xenophon did agree to be hacked, and he was initially very sceptical. Now we're about to show him our results.
I don't believe they can pull it off, but if you reckon they can pull it off, I give my consent. I'm sending you a text. Just sending it to you now.
Hi Ross, I don't believe you. Nick.
Whoa.
Do you believe me now?
Sadly, yes. And I shouldn't have doubted you, but this is actually quite shocking because this affects every Australian. It means anyone with a mobile phone can be hacked, can be bugged,
From
can be
anywhere
harassed.
in the world.
It's just chilling. I mean, this is Orwellian. This is George Orwell was out by only about 30 years. This is the end of anyone's privacy as we know it.
So, Senator, let me show you where we think you were on Wednesday, the 8th of July. You were in Tokyo.
Yeah, I was fighting to get subs built in Australia.
And let me tell you where you were next, Senator. This is Narita.
Yeah, I was in Narita. I was waiting to get my flight the next day. That's like, man, oh man.
Then, this Monday,
yeah,
you might remember I rang you.
Yeah, and you rang me, and I was on my way to see family.
I won't say the suburb, but do you recognise where this is?
Absolutely. I know the road very well. I drive past it all the time. It's, jeez.
The implications are enormous.
But look, this is not about spies and terrorists and pollies. This is about every Australian that is vulnerable because their phones can be hacked. If you're involved in sensitive commercial negotiations where the other company can do you over by virtue of hacking this with sensitive information, if you have an ex-partner that's being vindictive and that can try and embarrass you and humiliate you, no one is safe.
As long as our government and the telco industry balk at fixing this security loophole, any one of us can become a victim of this kind of attack at any time. And Les Goldsmith warns that individuals, companies or nations can't leave anything to chance. Is it fair to say that from what you've seen it's rampant?
It is right now, yes, and I think it's getting a lot worse.
Les, how do you sleep at night knowing all this?
I turn my phone off.